This began life as a 1974, April of 74, Datsun 260Z. I took this vehicle on in about 1994 when I worked in a Datsun shop. We converted it to an all-steel tilt front end. It is also, that's right, a Roots type blower on a 2.8 liter straight six turbo bottom end dish pistons. Stall header. Making this video to show that it's been sitting for quite a while. It's an unfinished project, but it is a fairly clean vehicle. Rocker panels are still relatively intact. Not a lot of rust, except in a few specific areas. Floorboards are original. Frame rails are not crushed. There is some rust on the surface towards the front. You can see the rest of the wrapped header there. This is a project for someone who might be interested. The doors are pretty clean on the bottom. What you see is what you get. Again, the rockers, including this area, that's usually pretty bad. Interior is somewhat stripped. It is a 280 1978 dash, which would accept factory air conditioning. Again, the floorboards are not in terrible shape. There is surface rust. It did sit outside a bit and got some water inside. No headliners installed. No interior really whatsoever. I do have the second seat. The seats were covered several years ago with the original stuff. That is the old Holley projection injection system. Needs to be replaced. It would be better as a Phytech, which would work on a Roots type blower. Again, the door sills, not terribly bad. Working along the rear. Wheel wells. Surface rust. The vent hole. No rust around that. There is some rust beginning underneath where I think it's worse on the other side. This is just dirt here. Sill plates are relatively clean. Some of this is flat out dirt. Near the lock, even though this is some rust. This is not, this is obviously some rust. When you get up on the hatch, still pretty clean. Stopped working on this car back in the 90s and it's sat ever since. This corner has some rust. Up inside on the sill area, again, there's a lot of dirt on the car too. We did do kind of a curved gas door to fit the body line to get rid of the side gas door, which was severely rusted, and we filled that in with sheet metal and zinc chromated everything. Obviously though, good deal of rust here. And getting up to the rear of the gutter guard and the rear of the quarter window, pretty good rust there. The wheel wells, the rear pan are not bad. The tank was done by Moyers. That was 3 or 4 years ago, but it was epoxied inside and out and baked. Rear pan, even though this is a 260, April of 260, was replaced with a 240 rear pan to accept 240 taillights. These were new lenses. Obviously, the reverse lamp is not blackened by the exhaust because it's not been on the road. Rear pan again, clean. This was a new part from Nissan. You could still buy a lot of these parts. I still have receipts for the hood, The fenders, the door skins, the hatch, the rear pan, and the radiator support were new in 1995 or so. Not really any major rust around the windshield gasket. Clean cowl. There's some stuff laying under here, but it's not really rusted out. Looks like rust on the camera with the light on it. That is definite rust on the hinge. Again, we built these boxes when we separated it to make a tilt front end. The battery box was welded in, new sheet metal, new battery tray. Could be a great project for someone. There's some rust on the bottom of the radiator support. There are inky wheels off a buddy of mine's 280ZX. I do have the center caps. And of course, where we welded everything to do the tilt front end is starting to separate and have some rust. We put some seam sealer on top of the welds to leave the body lines. And that's starting to separate. The headlight buckets, definitely some rust. And along the front of the hood. Clearly. But the radiator support is not terribly bad. It is serviceable. The other headlight bucket, also rust. Starting to separate from the hood. But it is all there. And the tilt front end kind of makes it open up like a Jag-E type. And again, a supercharged 2.8 liter L28 engine. E88 head, hollow ground valves, slight camshaft. I'm going to try and run it for you. I did run it a little bit. This injection system runs too lean for this motor, believe it or not. But it does cough. Better injection system would be a good way to go. And as I said, the Phytech does work on a roots type blower with external map, and it would be far more tunable than the ancient Holley projection system, where that is your only tuning capability. But still working. Let me know what you think if you feel like it. This could be a neat barn find for somebody. I've just lost interest and I'm moving